Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to Tuckaway Pines. My name is Mackenzie. We are down here in the preservation station, but we're not going to be preserving today. I wanted to have a little discussion video about what we've been up to these past few months since we moved up here from Milwaukee, and kind of go more into that as well. But and also what we kind of plan on doing this coming year, this new year here, our goals and our intentions. So figured I'd bring you guys along and just kind of discuss that with you. Alrighty, so please don't mind my notebook here. I kind of wrote down some, bullet points so I don't lose track of the topics here because I tend to ramble on. So yeah, our story here, our summary. We moved from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to northern Wisconsin back in about mid-August. And it was me, my fiance, and his family, our in-laws, my in-laws, his parents. But we all moved up here to 10 acres. And we love it. We absolutely love it. We wanted to kind of get out of the city for a number of reasons and kind of start a new life up here, a new chapter, if you will. And I thought that was a great opportunity for us to kind of document, not just for you guys, but for ourselves as well, kind of our journey as we grow and adapt to this new homesteading lifestyle, if you will. It's something that me and my fiance have always been really interested in and always wanted to really dive into, but being in the city, it's kind of hard. We did have a small garden. I even had a small little compost pile in the corner of the yard, and I did can some of my own food and stuff, but you can only go so far. Kind of like a plant in a pot, you can only grow as big as that'll let you grow. So we needed to kind of branch out and expand more. So yeah, moving up here, we did that. And we seem to be really adapting well, and that's kind of what we've been doing, in the past few months here, is just adapting, getting adjusted, getting moved in, getting comfortable. Cory and I finding jobs, of course, and that's something I'd like to kind of talk with you guys more about in depth in the future here, is balancing full-time jobs and hopefully a soon to be full functioning homestead. I mean, baby steps. We got to kind of get the fundamental building blocks going and then kind of go from there. So this is just ground zero right now. So please bear with us. But yeah, so we've, like I said, we managed to move in, get a little comfortable, kind of, make the house feel more homey. On the outside part, like on the exterior, I did a video about Cory and I making our main crop garden and a strawberry patch. So that's out there. We kind of did that. We did a lot of planting of our perennials. There's some perennials from our old house that we brought up here, and we want to get those in the ground right away. And then, let's see. Oh, I kind of made a compost pile. It was kind of a makeshift one, kind of really spur of the moment, not really planned or organized. So kind of have that going. I might, depending on how well next year kicks off and how well it's doing, might have to do a new one or something. We'll see there. So that's kind of doing its own thing. We did go through, well, I can't say we went through the whole property, but around the primary parts, like anything around houses or buildings or anything that could be hazardous to us at this time being, we cut down trees that could pose a risk. I did a video or two about that as well, us kind of mulching it too, like chipping all those trees and using it as mulch around our garden areas we built up. So yeah, we kind of spruced up the front yard and the backyard, of course. Cleaned it up a little bit because it did sat vacant for a while. It was an estate initially when we purchased it, so it needed a little love and care there. And yeah, and then we actually got lucky enough to sit out for deer hunting. Cory and I are, deer hunters. We are wild conservationists, and we were able to harvest a deer from our own property this year, so we are very thankful for that, very appreciative. But it was also a lesson in kind of how unprepared and rushed we are, even though it's pretty obvious we just moved here, kind of scrambling, everything's in bins still and such. So and obviously not knowing really the layout of our property well, and knowing like the deer trails and all that, where they come, where they go, and all that stuff. So we did get very lucky this year. Again, very thankful, but we want to be more prepared and have more options when it comes to sitting in different places, kind of scout out the property better. So yes, we plan on doing that. That's one of our future goals. So that kind of leads me into my next topic, which is our goals for the year of 2023. And Cory and I have kind of talked about what we wanted to focus on this coming year, and try not overwhelm ourselves with all these projects that we want to do, and just kind of break things down a little bit. And we figured that this year would be the year of the garden. We got our main crop garden going. We have a nice strawberry patch going. We even, and I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but we inherited a little rhubarb patch. So it'll be interesting to kind of learn how to work with some rhubarb. I've never worked with it before. I know the strawberries would go well with that, but beyond that, I really don't know what to do with it. So that'll be kind of fun to experiment there. And really kind of cook from the garden, eat from the garden more, eat more seasonally. That's a big goal, at least for me and Cory. My in-laws, they kind of do their own thing, I don't expect them to do what we do, you know what I mean? So anyways, we focus on growing a lot of our own food, a lot of our own herbs and spices, things like that. I even want to get into medicinal herbs and educating myself on that and all sorts of herbalism. I'm even pondering the idea of taking an herbal course. As eager as we are, we don't want to bite off more than we can chew or feel overwhelmed to where we don't want to do this anymore, because we love this and we don't want to burn ourselves out. So, and that's kind of like the main struggle and lesson, is to be patient and just focus on, if not one or two things at a time, one thing at a time, and not try to feel like you have to do it all right now. Because that's how I feel all the time. I have to feel like I have to get it all done now so I can just be where I want to be, but that's where I want to be, is doing the thing, so I rush through it. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's our goal. One of our goals is to have a very fruitful garden. But so the year of the garden is this year. We plan on ordering a bunch of seeds, a bunch of supplies. I'd like to bring you guys along with that, just to show you what we're fixing on growing. Really plan our garden, grow like where we're gonna grow what, and not just in the main crop garden either. I'd like to kind of scatter things about the yard. I have a ton of pots, so I can plant a lot of things in pots as well, and just kind of have them out and about. That way I like the variety of things. I don't like that monoculture, and that kind of gets into the principle of permaculture and all that stuff, and that can be for another video, another discussion. But I'd like to do that and get into that. We do plan on ordering a couple fruit trees, possibly. Our local orchard, during the off season, they will order and sell fruit trees and fruit bushes and other types of plants, and you can order them wholesale or not, or however many you need, and we plan on doing that as well. So plant a couple of fruit trees from our local orchard, which I think will be exciting. We also plan on possibly, I mean, this will probably be a never-ending project, but clearing out some of the downed trees on our property. It seemed like this past winter has been it's been, I guess, mild, but when it comes to like the snow and the rain and the ice, it's been really harsh. We've gotten a lot of freezing rain, so it weighs down the trees, and then snow on top of it, and it really has caused our trees to really bend and droop and even snap. And a lot of them, and there's even some that have uprooted. And this is kind of like everywhere in our area, but on our property specifically, we've noticed a lot of downed trees, and our hopes is to kind of clean some of that up. I mean, we're gonna let nature do its thing where it can, and but like there's a lot of hardwoods on our property that are down or kind of leaning. So if we could clean that up and harvest it and kind of have our own wood that way, that's kind of a bonus. So kind of plan that as well. And we also plan on creating kind of like some trails throughout the property. Nothing too crazy. I mean, we don't want it to be like a city park or anything like that, but my in-laws, being elderly, they like to get out and kind of walk around and whatnot, so plan on doing some sort of path that way. But also for Cory and I, because we do have a couple of three-wheelers, like to kind of recreate, on our own property. So it'd be nice to have a nice, like maybe a trail or two running through everything. So we might start that this year. It might not get done this year. Probably won't, with how much of a process that's all going to be, especially with everything else going on. So that's kind of something we've mentioned. It's not our priority project this year. Our garden is, but throwing that out there. And also we want to do more scouting, like I said earlier, for hunting. Not only just for deer, we want to get into other game, we want to get into other game, but we need to have established hunting posts, stands and stuff. So kind of scout our property out a little bit better, get trail cameras out and survey things, and kind of get some permanent stands out there. That way, not only we're in good spots, but we have some options. We're not stuck to just one location. We can kind of choose based on the day or the weather, what have you, where we want to go. So looking forward to that. And that leads me to, I guess, my final note, unless I think of anything last second here, but from what I've written, just kind of our plans with the channel here and the vlog. I'd like to obviously try and document more of our, not necessarily day-to-day life, but everyday life things, us out on the homestead, things that we're doing inside, preserving down here more. Not even just preserving, but cooking, little projects, fun little activities. For example, kind of not really homestead related, but I don't know, something that I did, it's part of my life. I did recently dye my hair, and I did film it, so I'm contemplating on, putting that out there for you guys to just kind of check out. Nothing special, nothing crazy, but it's just something I did, part of my life, and that's part of our journey, I guess. I don't know. So if you guys are into that, that'll be there. And yeah, like I said, everyday projects and just homesteading life. And I'd like to do more videos like this, more like discussion topics, kind of us, being real, leveling with everybody about, a specific topic, what we've experienced, what we think. Like I said earlier about full-time jobs, kind of want to discuss more in depth about that, aspect of life, and especially juggling a homestead. A lot of people imagine running a whole farm and working 40 hours a week, and then some, so kind of put that in perspective, at least from our, angle and dive in more with that. And there's other topics I'd like to discuss too, garden planning, which will be coming up soon, and preparing for spring, and just all sorts of stuff. There's going to be so many more topics, and if there's a topic you guys want us to talk about or something that maybe I should look more into, please comment. I would love to have other ideas, other opinions and stuff to, be brought into the mix. It's nice to have, more heads in play. So there's that, and just kind of be more scheduled, more routine, and that kind of goes with like the full-time job thing. It's hard to stay routine and on a set schedule. Life is really crazy and hectic, but I'd like to try and be somewhat organized and scheduled, at least for you guys. Yeah, and for me too. I'm kind of like OCD that way, and I need to have things organized, but it just never works that way. So it's something that I'm really trying to focus on this year. Maybe it's kind of a personal resolution, just stay organized and more routine. If not for you, for me, right? So we'll have that going on. And yeah, I do have other social media outlets out there for the homestead here. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest. Here and there. It's not my primary. And then obviously here on YouTube. YouTube is like the main content. TikTok is kind of like, I guess, me advertising for the main videos. And Instagram, it's kind of like TikTok. It's just a little advertisement, but I guess somewhat more personal, you'll kind of see more snapshots of, what's happened on the homestead, or what we did here, or what we saw there, I guess. But yeah, otherwise everything will be pretty much discussed and presented here on YouTube. So that's kind of where I'm at currently. So things might change as we develop and as we expand and grow and whatnot. And it's not like it's going to be a business or anything like that. That's not my intentions. I just want to document our journey, Yeah, I'm starting to kind of ramble now, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope I kind of didn't bore you guys to death or anything like that. I tried to stay on point as best as I could and explain things as well as I could too. So, yeah, I hope you guys look forward to watching more of us and what we do here. I look forward to filming more videos for you guys, and hopefully it's something everyone's willing to watch, tolerate, what have you. So, and if so, please do like, comment, of course, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other discussion videos, projects, adventures here on the homestead. Yeah, so you guys have a great new year. Great year. Hopefully 2023's kick-ass and a pain in the butt like 2022 has been. And I hope everyone's safe. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.